Hello everyone, my name is Jana and I am a fourth year music education student at Brandon University who plays the clarinet. I am here today to share some tips and tricks for intermediate clarinet players. So that means clarinet players between their third and fifth year of playing. So in today's video we will cover some scale patterns, articulations, dynamics, rhythms, and then I'll play some tunes for you at the end. My first tip and trick for you is that any of the exercises that I use and show you today can likely be adapted to work on different things. So just because I say something I'm using it to show you articulation, you can likely change it up and add dynamics to it, or vice versa. If I give you an etude that is for dynamics, you can change it up and add articulation to it. So let's get our instruments set up and we'll start working together. The first thing we're going to do together is a quick warm-up that I call jump your fingers down. For this warm-up, we're going to start on thumb F and we're going to play thumb F and then the next note and then go back to thumb F. Then we go thumb F and skip a note back to thumb F. So it'll sound like this. So this exercise is good for three reasons. It helps you work on covering your fingers, covering the keys. It helps you work on hearing the interval between the note to check tuning. And it helps you work on making sure that your fingers and your air are consistent together. So this can also be a great activity to work on getting your fingers moving quickly. And that would sound like this. So I just did the jump your fingers down activity and then played a scale up and a scale back down. Like any good exercise, warm-up, workout, whatever you do one way, you should do the other. So for this, we do it going down first. And then we should also do it going back up. And I'll warn you, it's harder to make the note sound even going back up. See, like even I had trouble with that. So if you can go it down, going down faster, you might have to slow it when you come back up. All right, now we're going to go and move into activities that work on scale patterns and scales. And the first one is what I call the Campbell pattern. The Campbell pattern is a pattern, so it's not playing the scale in your traditional play it up, play it down, but rather you're playing it using this pattern. So I'll upload a copy of this pattern on a link below so that you can look at it and see how it works. So essentially, the blue notes are the new note that you add every time. So you start with one and then you add notes all the way till you get to the octave. So I'll play the Campbell pattern for you now. You can play it with me if you think you have it figured out, or you can pause the video, download the link, and then play it. And we are going to do the Campbell pattern on low F. So I did the Campbell pattern tongues. You can do it slurred, you can do it accented, you can do it marcato, however you would like. So like I said before, like any good workout, we do something one way, we need to do it the other. So this is the Campbell pattern going backwards. So we start on the top note, so we start on that high F and then bring it back down. By high F, I mean thumb F. So it sounds like this. So that's the Campbell pattern going down. I actually, unlike walk your fingers or jump your fingers, I find it harder to do the Campbell pattern going down. because your brain just has to think in different ways. So that's why it's always good to, if you do think one thing one way, to do it the opposite way as well. All right, so as you develop and mature as a musician, you're likely finding that you need to expand your range more. And for some clarinetists, myself included when I was a young clarinetist, that can be very, very challenging. So now I'm going to share an activity with you that is a crossing the break activity using register slurs. And this will be in a link below as well, so you can look at it. So we're going to start with our low F that we used in our jump our fingers down activity. And just play that low F. And then you're going to add your register key at the back. And that F will then become a C. Just like that, F becomes C. So you can do this pattern chromatically or diatonically. On the link below in the attachment, I have it chromatically, but for right now, I'm just going to do it diatonically from F, which becomes C, to thumb C. So it goes like this. So I'll just review the fingerings and the note names. So here we go to C, middle C, add the register, it becomes a high G. D, add the register key, becomes high A. E, add the register key, becomes high B natural. Thumb F, add the register key, becomes high C. So even if you're struggling to play those notes just out of the blue in a piece of music, this is a great way to start working on expanding your range. When we're doing this activity, we want to be listening to see if our air stays the same, because our air shouldn't change going between the registers. If your air is changing, it might sound something like this, just on my F to C. As opposed to. And you also might find that you hack notes as you change registers, stuff like that if you're changing your air. Alright, so now that we've reviewed those higher notes, we're going to use them in a 2-octave concert B-flat scale. So just the scale by itself sounds like so. But now what we're going to do is, that was all slurred, we're going to tongue 4 and then slur 4. So that will sound like this. That's tongue 4, slur 4. You can also switch it and do it the other way, where you slur 4 first and then tongue 4. So I just did slurred articulation and tongued articulation with that. You can change it up and you can do staccato and slurred. You can do staccato and marcato. Whatever you would like to do to change that up. I'm going to put a link for this in below with the tongue 4, slur 4. So that's our articulations for today. Etudes are another great way to practice the stylistic components of music. So in a link below, I am going to upload 2 etudes. One is called Articulation Adventure, and the other is called Dynamic Dilemma. I am going to play for you Dynamic Dilemma so that you can hear what it sounds like, but I want you to try to figure out Articulation Adventure on your own. So here is Dynamic Dilemma. Ooh, it ends on a funky note. So that's Dynamic Dilemma. Like I said before, any of the things that we've done today, you can add dynamic contrast to however you want. The articulation exercise that we just did, say you wanted to play all of your tongued notes, forte, and all your slurred notes, piano. That's just one way that you can do it. And here's another way that you can practice dynamics. When we play dynamics, however, we need to remember that when we play piano, for example, we don't play with less air, but we just kind of blow softer and reduce our volume. On the contrary, when we play forte, we don't want to blast by playing with all our air and making our tone so spread. Rather, we just push our air harder. So, there's some tips for dynamics for you. Now we're going to do some work on rhythms together. So I have 3 rhythms for you. The first one's in 6/8, the first one's in 3/4, then we move to 6/8, and we end with 4/4. I am going to clap them for you, and then you can either clap them back to me, play them back on a neutral note, say them back using rhythm syllables, or however you want to do it. And then I will show you the rhythm that I clapped so that you can double check. So, first one's in 3/4. 1, 2, 3. So here is the first rhythm. Rhythm number 2 in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is the rhythm in 6/8, the second one here. If you feel like you need to pause the video to do those rhythms again, go ahead. And the rhythm in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one was a long one. And the rhythm in 4/4 on the bottom here. Alright, so that's our rhythm practice, just like that. Alright, we have come to the end of our video for today. So I am going to leave you with a piece by Elton John, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? You likely know it because it's featured in The Lion King. So thank you so much for tuning in and making music with me. I hope you enjoy Can You Feel the Love Tonight?